Hello, and welcome to your favorite podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. I, as usual, am your host, Kevin, and I have three amazing gentlemen with me today. You want to say hi, Patrick?
Hi, everyone.
Mike, you want to say hi?
Hey, everybody.
And we have Tom, the Giant Batman, with us, guest hosting today. You want to say hi, Tom?
Hello. Good to be here.
Awesome. So how you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Pretty good. Yep.
I want to say I'm good, but I'm not gonna because I'm not good. You know why? You want to guess why?
Why?
Because I still haven't given away a freaking comic book.
I'm not good now either. That'll ruin the day.
The Fun Fan Freebie is still up for grabs. So anybody and everybody listening and watching, please see the Fun Fan Freebie phrase giveaway details on our website or listen to it at the end of one of our podcasts. It's simple and it's worth a lot. We got great stuff. Actually, one thing is kind of your choice of things up to $8, but then we have a 9.4 CGC graded copy of Star Wars: The High Republic #1 variant with a variant cover. You know what? Actually, too, I meant when we were down at Accelerator today, Mike, to grab that. Maybe that would make a difference to somebody actually seeing that physically. You know?
Hold that thing up.
So we'll plan on that next week. But believe me, it exists, and it's awesome. So, you know, all you have to do is a couple short things, but it's this one here. This is the variant cover. So it's great. And then we've got a new, a couple new sweepstakes, but the first one I want to talk about, or a couple new giveaways. The first one I want to talk about, though, is going to be kind of an update because it's just starting now, or it's not really an update because it's just starting now, but this is when we will update it. So I wanted to show you the new intro I had for this update. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. This is new for us too.
Yeah. There you go. The Scruffles Goals Sweepstakes. And you like how now it's pretty clear for everybody that's just listening and couldn't see it. In that animation, it actually says that the S is for subscribe, the C is for comment, the R is for retweet, the F is for follow, the L is for like, and the second S is for share. And the way it's going to work is you do any of those things, and it basically gets you an entry in the Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes. And I actually updated the website too, if anybody had seen this, with exactly how that's going to work. And this is subject to change. You know, it won't change the entry, the way you enter. And the way you win will not change. But we kind of talked briefly last week about what the prizes were going to be, and we didn't really, get into covering it later. But basically what I just decided to put on the website was 2 free movie tickets, a pop, a pack of trading card games, a pack of trading cards from a trading card game, a comic book, and actually I think that. Oh, and did I say a pop? Yeah.
A Funko Pop.
Yeah, Funko Pop. Yeah.
Because you said movie tickets and then a pop, and I'm like, okay, so I get a Coke and some movie tickets.
No.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good haul.
Yeah, definitely. And the comic book just has to be, a new-ish. And how do you say it, Mike? A open order book. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't be asking for Incredible Hulk 181.
Yeah. And yeah, no
Something
variants, no.
Right. Current book. So and then the last thing is, and Mike, you're gonna have to help me with this, is the pick 3 profits.
There we go.
And Mike, did you want to kind of cover this one real quick?
Yeah, I'll go over this. So these are 10 open order comic books that are coming out this week, May 4th. And I choose 10 books out of all of them that are being released. And then I present those 10 books to the Exceller group and our family members. They all pick their 3 favorite ones. I tally up which covers get the most votes, and that becomes our top 3 covers for the week. And all you have to do in order to be the prophet
Nice.
is pick the 3 covers that you think are going to be our top 3. And so the cutoff time is going to be right before my segment where I reveal those. And
right as soon as you started it, technically.
Yeah. As soon as I start it, and I'll announce it that it's cut off. And what is it, Kevin? They comment during the show.
Yeah.
The 3 covers that they want to select. And if you go to the Facebook page, they're all listed there with the artist, the large picture of it, so you can get a better picture, a better idea what it looks like. Right.
Yeah.
So, and the winner will receive their choice of one of those 10 comics. We'll ship it to you. We'll cover the shipping. And this is for the contiguous United States only.
And just to add to that, we'll ship outside, but we're only going to cover the shipping for the contiguous United States. So,
right.
Maybe we'll cover the shipping for internationally up to $8 or something. But
yeah, up to what we normally would for
contiguous. Yeah.
US. Yeah. Correct. So going over to the Facebook page, maybe on your laptop or phone, whatever device you're not watching us on.
Yeah. So we talked about that this morning too, because your show changed there too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the Sunday short show, we changed it up to the short sale show. I try to do them on Sundays, but basically during that show, I'll share the same graphic of the 10 comics that are going to be talked about in the Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space show.
Yeah, so you can maximize your time to scrutinize what you think is going to be the top 3 covers. Right. You get it in the short sale show. You can check it out after the short sale show, before the live stream starts, on a post on Facebook. And I'll try to remember to, if I have time, to share that on Instagram or Twitter as well. But it'll at least be on Facebook, because Mike will do that.
Yep, I'll do that. Probably Friday nights I'll have those up.
Okay. And then we'll share it again at the beginning of the show. But that's, but from now until then, you can comment what you think the top 3 winners are or top 3 covers are gonna be, and be a big winner. Another way, we're trying to give you free stuff. Tell your friends.
Yep.
It's awesome. All right. So usually we go into my segment here with the what Kevin watched, but we talked about changing that up a little bit this week, because we had a tragedy in our industry, our community, whatever you want to call it, with Neal Adams passing. What was that? Was it 2 days ago?
Friday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about that for a minute to, to kind of pay respects to that and kind of remember a bit. So, I think, Patrick, I'm going to say right now, I think you're we've talked about it before. You're the brainchild of this group, in my opinion. So I do want to share. You know, I had an opportunity to meet Neal Adams. What was that? 3 years ago, Mike?
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Had him sign X-Men #1. He did a variant cover for. Still have that, of course, and he was great. And the only part of that story that I talk about with regret is I hadn't seen the Joker yet. It was just out in theaters that week. And he was trying to make small talk with me, which was awesome, of course. You know, which I'm all starstruck, of course. Neal Adams is my definitive Batman for me, you know, artist.
Maybe all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to speak for everyone, but definitely me. So is that go for you too, Patrick?
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that.
Okay.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
What was the question?
Is Neal Adams your kind of definitive Batman artist in your mind?
Yeah, I would say him and Jim Aparo are probably the 2 most important Batman artists to me. I think Norm Brayfogle was kind of up there as well. I didn't appreciate his artwork when he was doing the runs, and later on I came to appreciate a little bit more. But I think Neal and Jim are equally important.
Yeah, I kind of put Neal as coming a little earlier than Jim, right? Like Jim, to me, was drawing Batman. Although there are distinctive style points, he's effectively, to me, drawing Neal Adams Batman, as everyone did for like 20 years, pretty much, right?
Right.
I think Neal Adams is to Batman what John Romita Sr. was to Spider-Man, sort of defining this look that everybody else was effectively drawing in that same style, but he kind of set the template for Batman having that look with it. Basically, what my avatar looks like, with the straight sides to his head, kind of a rectangular shaped head, and ears with long ears, realistic proportions on the anatomy, just sort of that overall look.
Yeah, I think
Aparo popular in
Aparo
the 70s and 80s mainly.
Yeah, I think Neal's stuff is kind of gritty, and Aparo just slicked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I was saying before we get too deep into it, I want to finish telling that story is, so I was starstruck with him. And, so it was just, it's just kind of, I don't know exactly how to describe it. When he's trying to make small talk with you, it's like, you don't know what to say. And I don't usually shut up. So that's saying something, if I don't know what to say. And he asked me if I had seen the Joker, because it just came out that week, and I hadn't seen it yet. I was like, dadgum. Missed opportunity for a great small talk with Neal Adams, because I don't even know he didn't. When I said no, I haven't seen it, that was the end of the conversation. I would have been interested to hear what Neal had to say about the Joker.
Yeah, don't worry about spoilers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity for you, because I mean, it wasn't the way he was set up. It wasn't just like he's at a table where you're standing there at the table. I mean, you were sitting down.
Yeah, I got to sit with him. Yeah,
right by him. I mean, it's a very welcoming environment that he had there.
Yeah, he was and he was very nice. He was awesome. So.
Neal Adams, if you had before Friday, given me a police lineup, I wouldn't have known what he looks like. I only know his work. And so, seeing some photos of him on Friday, I was sort of struck, just the few photos I saw. He had the appearance of being welcoming and warm. Just, some people just have that look. So it's kind of interesting, Mike, that you described him that way.
Yeah.
It's just the impression I got. Like, some people just come off that way, sort of charismatic. And I was kind of curious to hear if that was the case. Sounds like it was.
Yeah, definitely for me. Obviously people can have different experiences, but yeah, it was awesome. Did you ever meet him, Patrick?
I never met him face to face. He was at quite a few Heroes cons that I attended. But my history with Neal Adams is kind of strange because, as I've talked before, I was a Marvel kid, and I missed out on all that stuff. I certainly recognize his importance in comic book history, but by the time I was in the comics, he was well past his DC stint, and I knew him as the guy from Continuity Comics and Megalith and things like that, and he had already started to distance himself from Marvel and DC, which he eventually came back around and did things for them here and there, but in not being the DC guy, I didn't really have that strong of an urge to go back and look for things. Of course, we're gonna throw a bunch of his covers and artwork up here, and they're instantly recognizable. They're iconic.
Yeah.
But no, to answer your question, I've been in the same convention hall. I've seen him from afar, but it's sort of tying into he was one of the he was a lot. He was known a lot for creators' rights. He was instrumental in getting artwork back to artists finally. And he, on the other flip side of that, he was also, I believe, one of the first guys to start charging for autographs and pictures and things like that.
Oh, really?
So that kind of thing, that kind of thing was never. I never liked to really pay for autographs. I like to just go up and meet somebody, get an autograph, and in the comics world had generally always been that. But I think he was sort of like one of the first guys to, he wanted his money. He had been sort of neglected in the past. There were some deals that he worked on comic strips and things like that where he was not getting paid what he should, and so he was always out to get his fair share of the pie. Let's say. Nothing against. There's nothing wrong with that, but it unfortunately kind of, he was off. I didn't really have anything for him to sign, so there's kind of no reason for me to go up and meet him. Didn't have anything in my collection, so I saw him from afar. I never got to meet him, shake his hand, or anything like that. But again, I reiterate what Kevin said and what Tom kind of hinted at there. He always seemed very friendly, extremely friendly. Always seemed to have a smile on his face. Always had that blue shirt and tie.
Yeah. If it was 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to shake his hand and sit down with him either, because it wasn't one of the cheaper autographs I got that day too. So, which is fine because like you were saying, he's trying to get his piece of the pie, and obviously the comic book industry has the further you go back, the worse the history is with these artists and stuff getting their fair due, So
for sure.
Yeah, the price for me was I couldn't afford it that weekend.
It was we joke about me whether I can afford it. I just do it anyway, and that's kind of because we knew he was going to be there, and I didn't plan on doing it because of the price. So I didn't take anything of his for him to sign either. That's why I had him sign it. I wish, it's kind of cool because obviously think a lot about Neal Adams, and I love the X-Men. So I had him do an X-Men cover, but it's also kind of lame. I had him do an X-Men cover as opposed to a Batman book, so. Yeah.
Or if you're going to have him do an X-Men book, it's going to be one of his X-Men books.
Yeah, one of his X-Men books. Yeah, not a new one, just doing the cover. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
I'm going to set me up Adams book. Scrolling through some of his covers here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's look at these.
Yeah, let's look at it. Let's look at some of his covers. Yeah. Oh man, that's another thing I didn't add that thing. Oh man, failing.
Well,
just talk about it. I'll work on this.
Yeah, he did a limited number of things for Marvel. He was in that sort of in between period of X-Men where they were in danger of being canceled, and before Giant Size X-Men came along. In fact, they were doing reprints, around this era, and he came along and is kind of known at Marvel for his X-Men as well as. Sorry, I skipped over that.
Yeah, I love X-Men books.
His work on the Kree Skrull War, which, you know, I should point out here, Marvel reprinted some of the Kree Skrull work when I was, you know, early in the 80s, I would say, when I was, you know, getting into comics. And it's amazing because, you know, I really didn't know of Neal Adams. I didn't know of his Batman stuff. But, you know, you look at these issues and you could see they could have been printed, you know, that year. You know, they could have been printed in the 80s for all I knew, because he was so different and so modern looking. It didn't seem like a reprint book almost, you know, and it was probably what, you know, 10, 12, 14 years after they initially had been published at Marvel. You know, I was getting these reprints, and it did make an impression on me. You know, he was a great artist, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But you know, then, you know, he was moving over to DC, and I think, you know, I brought this up. This is an iconic cover. Everybody's seen this cover. Yeah. It's been, you know, homaged by Alex Ross, among other people. It's just, and even Neal himself has done a few classic twists on it, I believe.
Yeah, I think his most iconic stuff was the DC. He's got a couple of the X-Men books that are real standout, but
right.
Yeah, ultimately it's DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All his Detective and Batman.
Remember the comic we were passing around a few months back where Shazam or Captain Marvel was asking Superman, how does he get the chains to shatter like that?
Right.
Basically, like the whole comics are built on that image, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, once I made a checklist of his Detective and Batman books, and I have some. I don't have all of them, but you start looking at the prices of some of them, and yeah, I don't know if I'll end up getting those.
Oops, there's a better version.
Awesome.
You know, and then he's known for his Green Arrow and Green Lantern run. You know, and a lot of this is with Denny O'Neil, the writer. That just happens to be a Brave and the Bold with Green Arrow, but I have some of his Green Arrow, Green Lantern covers in here too. A lot of cool Brave and the Bold stuff. There's an iconic image. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
Around the time.
That was on a lot of T-shirts back in 1989. That might be like the definitive Neal Adams Batman image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I might be incorrect, but I think that's from like the Ra's al Ghul era.
I think you're right.
Which I should have some of those covers in here too. It's funny because I actually have this book somehow. I don't know how. I can't remember how I got this. But I think everybody's seen that cover too. I mean,
absolutely. Is it in good shape too? Do you know?
It's in decent shape. I haven't looked at it for a while.
Yeah, I definitely want that. I don't have it. Of course.
That's
a great one. Yeah.
There's some racial stuff, you know, and he was co-creator of Ra's al Ghul. Another classic there.
Oh, hey, finally one that I have.
Yeah, that Ra's al Ghul story got adapted onto the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Two-parter that Denny O'Neil was credited as the writer of that episode. I don't know for sure. Did he adapt his own comic strip? But it was just an adaptation of that story. It was really cool.
Yeah, there's another iconic one. I think I have that when DC did those the dollar comic reprints.
Okay. Oh, back to that one. Where's that? We had talked about this. I know the Superman versus Muhammad Ali Treasury.
Yeah.
Edition with that great cover. All the celebrities in the audience. There's some, you know, he's co-creator of John Stewart Green Lantern also.
Yeah.
And he was known for that story arc, you know, with Speedy, if the drug use stories.
I actually had
this. An iconic cover.
I actually had this one, but sold it when I needed some cash. Now I just have a reprint, but I have the reprints, whatever.
I remember seeing this one up on the wall at Phantom of the Attic in Butler. If you told me to name two covers that they had on their wall. I probably have trouble coming up with number 2, but I remember this being up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one from that Green Lantern, Green Arrow run.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of these are just so familiar. Even if you've never read them, you've definitely seen these, or they've been homaged somewhere or another. They're just such classic covers.
Yeah.
Obviously, a well-respected artist, among not just fans but his peers also.
Yeah. Well, I think he was kind of responsible for Frank Miller getting his foot in the door.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't remember all the details, but I think Frank had come to him and hopefully I don't mess this up. And he looked at his stuff and he said, come back again. Not like in a rude way, but practice some more and then come back again. And I think Frank did.
Okay.
I hope I'm rendering that correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there. Neal was one of those guys who was, I think he even he wanted to know if you wanted an honest evaluation of your talent or not, because he laid it out on the line. And if that's going to be your profession, it's sort of what you want. And you hear a lot of those stories where he's just a brutally honest critiquer of portfolios out there. So.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to give anybody like false hope and mislead them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think I've run through all the covers, but obviously, there's a lot more out there, but I just, I tried to pick a few of the classic ones.
Yeah, those are great. And, I wanted to, sorry about that. I haven't been in control of all this in so long. I've forgotten which button is which. We don't have a moderator today. So, and actually we're changing the name. It's not moderator. It's what is it, Tom?
Producer.
Well, didn't we decide we're the producers though? So,
well, you could do producer or director. I think either one would be fitting. A lot of radio shows, like the person who's kind of doing the things behind the scenes, they call them producers. The person who's not on the air. But you can.
All right. Well, we don't have a producer with
everyone
us.
Here who does work leading up to prep the show, I'd say, could be called producers also. Mostly you and Mike, I think.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, Mike, is that a Neal Adams behind you too?
No, I wish that I knew who did a lot of these. I just looked for screensavers instead of just like actual artwork from books and things like that.
Yeah, okay.
So these are just screensavers.
Yeah, okay.
Because if I could figure out who actually drew it, I would. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes this reminds me of Raphael Albuquerque a little bit, but yeah. If I had thought about it, I probably could have found it. Neal Adams.
Well, it's a last minute thing. We just talked about it when we started today, so just appropriate to talk about it. And yeah, that's all I had. Patrick, is that all you had regarding Neal Adams?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Mike, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'll cover a little bit when we get to our purchases for the week.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I'm thankful that I actually got to see Neal, and I'm glad that you actually got to sit down and chat with him for a bit.
Yeah, it makes that moment, obviously that much more special. Yeah, for me.
Yeah, and it's just a reminder. A lot of the artists and writers that that we
grew up with are aging.
Yeah, we kind of grew up with, and it's kind of strange. I mean, he was 80 years old. So you kind of group other creators, they put them in the same group. It gets scary sometimes. You start thinking about the age of some of these creators, and it's like, dang.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're being, if we're getting the same quality of writers and artists now that we had in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I got. I can ramble.
Well, My personal prayers will be with Neal Adams' family, and rest in peace, Neal Adams. Definitely, in my opinion, a great man. Seems like in all of our opinions. So,
yeah, and I think the creator's rights. I think he was instrumental in Siegel and Schuster. I think in the '60s, he was really instrumental in them getting more for Superman.
Yeah. Well, you know what I did?
You had another idea?
No.
I forgot to do the intro.
Yes.
Oh.
Because my top card was Neal Adams, and we talked about putting it up at the beginning. My next card is on today's show, and then the intro.
Hey, welcome to the show. I mean, they do it all the time. You have a 10-minute thing, and then boom, there's the
the cold open.
Yeah, and if something is killing the children, you read 3 or 4 pages, and then you open it up, and boom.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we just thought we would open the show with that conversation, but now, let's get into everything else.
All right. Let's go.
Just like you planned it.
Well, I obviously updated the Fun Fan Freebie. That's going to be the only hard part of selling the. We intended to do this because I did the Fun Fan Freebie update, but I didn't say what the first word of the Fun Fan Freebie phrase is, and the first word is free. Just out of curiosity, we've been through 1 week with this phrase. Does anybody in the room know the full phrase as of right now?
No.
I was expecting Tom to, of course. Mike, I was doubting you would. I thought the only one that had a chance was Patrick, but I'm not surprised after just 1 week. But
yeah, it was a hectic week this week. I didn't get around to listening and watching crawl through.
Yeah, okay. And I actually didn't get the crawl through it out until like 0 dark 30 on Thursday night. So if you're waiting for it on Friday night. Yeah.
Right.
If you're waiting for it on Friday, my life is crazy too, but I just don't sleep, and that's how I make half of this stuff happen.
Yeah, I know. I see a text or a message from you at 3:46 in the morning, and I'm thinking,
right.
I'm getting up in 2 hours. I'm sure he's on the same schedule as me.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so we usually have a little bit bigger gap of time between that intro and the next one, but let's go ahead and get into technically the first segment of the week. All right. So, I'm gonna change that one up a little bit. I'm still not happy with that one. But you know what they did with me in Animaker too, and now I got to figure out a whole new thing. You know what they did?
No.
They added something this week. Fat people.
Finally,
change them all for me at least. So, and I shouldn't say fat people like it's like this horrible thing. They're just, definitely different body shape that's be more appropriate to me. So, I'm gonna update that. So when you note that update, that's what's going on there as well. So,
right.
So I I had another big week. I really like watching stuff. I'm glad this is my segment.
Yeah. I'm glad it's your segment too, because I didn't watch anything.
So there, there's the new shows, but I haven't seen a brand new movie in I think since was Batman in the theaters after Spider-Man or what was it reversed or whatever, but whichever one was last, that's the last time I saw a new one. So I'd meant to see this one, but I hadn't. So I saw Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe origin story. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Has anybody seen this?
No.
Nope. I have a cool poster that I got.
Tom, did you see Snake Eyes the origin story?
No, I haven't seen any of the live action G.I. Joe movies, and I forgot that this one even came out. Now, so you brought it up. So, looks interesting. How was it?
It was good. I really liked it. The only, if I have a criticism of it, is it kind of started a little slow. I almost didn't continue about halfway through just because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to watch, and I was like, you know what, maybe this wasn't the best call, but it wasn't soon thereafter that everything changed, and it really kicked some butt through the ending, and I ended up really liking it a lot. And I watched this on Amazon Prime. But and I guess I've heard some people are a little bitter with some changes, as far as comic books and maybe even cartoons versus the way this movie kind of explained things. Like, does anybody know how Snake Eyes got his name?
Terrible at dice. I don't know.
Okay. No. Well, I've never been a big G.I. Joe fan, so I'm not going to say whether this is the way it originally was or not. But the way they represent in this movie is his father is murdered, and this assassin that murders him, basically he has this game he plays with dice to decide whether he's going to murder him or not, and says, all right, you lose, you die, you win, you live. And he rolls them, and his dad, he's hiding in the closet. His dad hid him in the closet when these assassins came for his dad.
Yeah.
And he's of course watching the whole thing go down, and sees the guy roll the dice, and he rolls Snake Eyes. So then in a very Batman-esque way, he becomes this angry, just wants to be a bad butt, learn all the martial arts to kick everybody's butt because he's an angry guy. And he gives himself the name Snake Eyes because of that. So his mission in life after that, of course, is to find this assassin of his father and get revenge. And right. Snake Eyes is just the name he gave himself because of that event happening.
Because his dad is a terrible dice player.
His dad didn't roll, the assassin rolled. It's kind of like
he rolled for him.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Two-Face, flipping the coin.
Yeah, Two-Face is flipping the coin for your fate, yeah. Right?
And true to form to evildoers as well, the dice were rigged. Because Snake Eyes actually finds the guy and gets his dice later, and he's just messing around with him. He's just rolling them around, and they always land on Snake Eyes. So
it's just false hope that he rolls the dice and you might live.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think that might have been the only movie in general I watched. So I wanted to bring up another movie real quick, though. But this is just the trailer. I guess the second trailer, final trailer for this dropped. Hey, Patrick, was this fake trailer? Was it real?
I think it was real. I didn't see it.
I think this one's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, obviously called me out, which thank you was accurate, and I actually showed the trailer. I was talking to him later, and it was even more embarrassing after I showed him because he's like, "Dude, it says Disney Plus like right there in the corner in like 3 scenes." I was like, "Oh man, yeah, there it is."
Yeah.
Totally missed that, so I'm still ashamed. But I have you to thank for saving me and thinking that was real. And you know what's even worse too? Since I watched it, you know what happens now. Now my entire YouTube feed is full of these fans and stuff. Yeah, I saw a Deadpool 3 trailer, and I was like, no, you're not fooling me. But anyway, this trailer was awesome. And this movie's a big deal. I mean, it's got everybody from the original Jurassic Park. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, the joining of the original and the current. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think is this wrapping up the series?
Yeah. It says right there on that graphic that I got on there at the top, it says the epic conclusion of the Jurassic era. But you know what? That doesn't mean anything because I thought it was over after Jurassic Park 3. You know. Yeah.
Well, they're doing, you know, maybe the next 3, you know, Chris Pratt and Dallas Howard, 3 named people. They might not be in it. They restarted.
Their era might be done. Yeah.
Yeah, but this looks exciting. I mean, he's on a horse, and it looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I might actually get to see this before I see Morbius because this is coming out, I think May 5th. Is it on there too? Does it say that on there?
It doesn't say.
What's it say at the bottom there?
I don't know. I've got
by the banner.
I've got graphics on my computer here blocking it.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Anyway, it's soon. You know. Did anybody see Morbius? By the way, I keep feeling bad that every week goes by I haven't seen it.
I saw it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was okay. I mean, it's been getting. I've been seeing like a lot of negative, just I don't know what you call it, just general hate for it, you know, and mockery.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, for being Morbius, I thought it was an okay movie, but I did find it was kind of formulaic. Like the first scene shows him as a kid, and then there's this other kid, and like I could tell like right away, it's like, oh, that's going to be the villain. You know, like it just sort of followed the superhero arc story pretty much blow for blow. But you know, and it kind of ended abruptly too. Like I thought, you know, towards at the end it was like, oh, and there's the credits. I guess we're done. You know, but you know, but I wasn't like squirming in my seat thinking, oh, this is terrible. Actually, like I don't care for the Venom movies at all. I feel like they're not for me. I think they're for like teenage boys or something. Like you know, they just seem juvenile to me, and I didn't dislike this in the way I dislike the Venom movies. So you know, I'd say it was watchable, adequate. You know, it wasn't a masterpiece. I was like, I'll run out and see it, but you know, I don't think it was just total garbage either. You know, it's just kind of a.
You're not a Venom fan? You don't like the Venoms at all?
I don't like the Venom movies. You know, like I don't want to see basically a movie about Venom. You know, like he's okay as a Spider-Man character and stuff. Like I don't know. It just doesn't really appeal to me.
I agree with that.
So just yeah, I've tried twice I think to watch the first one and I fell asleep both times, and the second one I saw in the theater, you know, because my teenage son wanted to see it, right? So I went, but it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, we're in agreement. Yeah, we're in agreement on that. Yeah.
So I thought Morbius wasn't as bad as Venom, and that is something.
Not saying much.
Sony Spider-Verse movie, you know. Like I said, I wouldn't even say it was bad. It just wasn't all that good. It was kind of predictable. You know?
Gotcha.
But I didn't hate it.
All right. Well, now Tom's ahead of me. Now, great. Now I got to see it so I can actually claim what I watched moniker again. Tom currently has it. So anyway, and then I just run through these real quick. I watched another couple episodes of Reacher. Still kicking butt. It's really good. Still like it a lot. Then I watched another couple episodes of Space Force. Still don't like it. And this actually got canceled. I saw this was canceled too. Yeah.
And to chime in, I started watching the first episode
Of season 1 or season 2?
Season 1.
Okay.
This is like a few weeks ago. I had forgotten. I was having a hard time getting into it. I haven't completely bailed on it. I still want to give it a shot, but I was having trouble with it.
Yeah.
And
I
I love Steve Carell. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, if it wasn't for I said this before, Steve Carell and John Malkovich, I wouldn't even be able to watch the show. I think it's so bad. It's just not. If it were anybody but them, I feel like I wouldn't even have made it past 2 or 3 episodes, let alone 2 or 3 episodes into the second season. So, and then I've been watching this show, Pacific Rim: The Black. It's an animated Pacific Rim series, and season 2 just came out, I think last week or the week before. And I've been watching this. Do you guys like Pacific Rim in general?
I like the first one. I hadn't seen the second one yet.
Yeah, I think the first one's definitely better than the second one, but I thought the second one was pretty good as well. Mike, have you seen either of them?
I saw the first one. I thought it was really good. I liked it.
Well, I'm loving it. I'm digging this cartoon a lot. It's really good. And it's kind of that I forget my terms when I'm describing animation, but what's the like Toy Story and all that is? What kind of
like 3D computer generated?
Yeah, like CGI cartoon, whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not your typical animation, and so I'm really liking a lot. And the story's great. And it's totally obviously in the same universe as the movies, and the movies play a part in it and everything. But I'm only a couple episodes into the second season now, but that's a big recommend that I revisit it as well. And then there is this Outer Range. Is anybody familiar with this?
No.
Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, I watched the first 20 minutes, and then Emily came down and we watched the last episode of Resident Alien.
Oh, okay.
This is out there.
Yeah.
Range.
Yeah.
But I love it because it's the Midwest. It's cowboys, and I don't want to steal your thunder here, and sci-fi. So
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's and all I have to say right now is it's interesting. I haven't decided whether I actually like it or not. But basically, what happens in this is he's a rancher. Josh Brolin, a.k.a. Thanos, is a rancher that we kind of start with this mystery in the show about his daughter missing. And the trauma that's done to the family and how they're all trying to deal with that. And then he finds this humongous bottomless hole in the middle of one of his pastures. And when I say humongous, it's probably, 20 feet by a 20-foot diameter. It's a circle, and it's just endless. He like throws stuff down in it and lights and stuff, and it just never ends. And so that's a big part of the story that I won't get into too much, but what makes this show extra special, crazy, and keeps me from deciding whether I like it or not is that aside from this whole sci-fi aspect with this, inexplicable hole in his pasture that plays a part in a lot of it, it plays out like this murder mystery too, because this is a spoiler if you want to check out for a few seconds, not much though, because it happens pretty quick, pretty early in the show. Is one of his sons actually the husband? One of his sons that his wife is the daughter that left. Somebody was talking smack to him about the daughter, so he ended up killing him. So then it becomes this murder mystery on multiple sides, kind of from the perspective of the murderers trying to hide it because they're murderers in essence, and then the daughter missing, which they're assuming she's dead and she was murdered and stuff, you know. So it's a ride, that's for sure. I haven't been able to stop watching it, and it is a little different with this too. At least it's different for me. They're actually releasing 2 episodes a week. So at least they did this last week because I didn't even know it was out until episode 4 was already out. So I binged up through 4 episodes. And then this past week, it said new episodes on Friday. So I checked it out Friday, and episode 5 and 6 were both released. So I don't know whether that's a normal thing for Amazon or what, but I've never done this kind of thing with Amazon to where I know that's typical or not. But basically the first 6 episodes are out now. And it's, you know, it's interesting. You know, it's definitely compelling, but I'm going to save my dislike or like for it later. You know,
yeah, it seems like a bunch of different genres all
crammed
into one.
Yeah, and I'm going to take this right into Moon Knight. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this, Patrick, this week, because maybe my craziness exhaustion level was high whenever I watched Outer Range, because I watched Moon Knight first and I was just exhausted from this episode. Patrick, why don't you tell everybody, because I'm assuming you watched it, right, Patrick?
Yeah, I think we saw it. Yeah.
So can give us your take first, please. I got to hear this.
This was basically sort of a rewind in trying to show, I think, sort of his origin story and where the multiple personalities stem from. It was basically Mark and Steven. They believe they're dead. They possibly are dead, and they're in the Egyptian afterworld, trying to reach their final destination. And before they can reach it, they have to balance their scales to decide which direction they're going to go. And in the process, reveal, pardon me, sort of what happened to them and why they became this way, including the origin of his powers.
Yep. So this was very crazy with regard to it. It basically, every time it tried to tell you something, it didn't want to tell you directly. It wanted to tell you in some indirect, crazy way that you had to decipher to figure out. And man, I didn't like this episode hardly at all. There was a couple of moments where I thought it was pretty cool, but overall, again, no Moon Knight, of course. And
little bit.
Oh, well, when he first was created or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like they're following the same format as Book of Boba Fett then, because last week you said there was no Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So there's no Moon Knight, and then there's a little Moon Knight, and then what do we have? One more episode?
Well, the character that plays Moon Knight's in it, but we don't see Moon Knight in his costume because he's lost his powers. So he's in it. Yeah. It's not like Boba Fett wasn't in it at all.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
But still similar.
And man, they had a talking hippopotamus that was the lady. There was a hippopotamus that was the lady that was in charge of getting the dead from point A to point B. And that's the other thing too. We talked about how I asked you, Patrick, if you thought they were actually dead, and I guess from a few other things they said, they're actually dead as of right now, right?
Seems that way.
And they're trying to get back, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy. It was just too much for me. So I didn't care for that episode at all.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was another really strong episode. I thought Oscar Isaac was phenomenal in this episode.
Well, I would definitely not take that away. Oscar Isaac is definitely amazing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Him pulling it off, because the entire episode is him with himself. The whole episode. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely is great. He's doing a great job, but I just don't enjoy this kind of, I guess, this part of a story. So I'm glad you do though. And people can get both takes, so. Tom, are you watching any Moon Knight?
No, I haven't seen any of it at all. I wondered, I don't want to change the topic, but if we have time, I wondered if anybody has seen the 4th season of Young Justice at all, or had watched the previous seasons. That's one thing that I
started watching the first episode, and all that did was remind me to go back and watch the others. So I started over, and basically I'm going to catch up to it.
Well, there was a night, it was like based on the time we didn't want to put on a movie. We were just kind of trying to find something to watch. We're like, oh, all right, this has been on here a while. Let's check out the first episode of season 4 because it came out. I don't know when it came out. It's been a while now. But the first 2 seasons of the show were on television years ago. They were really good. We watched them with the kids, years back, and then the show, it's one of those shows that got canceled and then got resurrected direct to streaming. So they did a 3rd season. We watched that when it came out, and I remember,
that was like 3 years ago, I think.
Yes, yeah. But I think it was decent. It was, didn't think that it was,
as good.
But still, pretty good, I guess. It wasn't like, what are they doing? Well, this is like, what are they doing? So we watched the first episode, and it was like we could barely get through it. We practically wanted to turn it off, but we thought we'd stick it out, and it just was like the whole episode. Have you said you did see the first episode?
Right. Yeah, I did.
There wasn't really any action or villains. It was all about 2 of the characters, one of whom is a Martian, and they're traveling to Mars to have a wedding and to meet the Martian family and all this stuff, which is fine. But then on top of that, they, Martians speak telepathically, so we don't have to animate their mouths. So you have a lot of people holding still, and you just hear what they're saying. So it's like, okay, that's a nice cost measure, I guess. And then, like, the whole plot line was about these Martians that have darker skin and these Martians that have lighter skin don't like each other, and it was like this whole racial thing, and it was really heavy-handed, and just like so many things nowadays, it's just they're just pushing this this messaging into things that used to be fun and ruining them, and so it's like, this is the first episode, you're like, is this what this is all going to be? And so then I got on, and kind of read reviews of this season from other people who had watched it, you read a handful of them, and they're all kind of saying like, oh, they're checking all of the, SJW bingo card squares, like in every episode, like all of them, and so we were like, okay, I guess we're done with this. That's too bad. So it's like it's not even the same show anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. That's for sure.
Hey, you just want a good show.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a message or a greater meaning or anything. Just a good, fun show.
Yeah. Speaking of good shows, Halo on Paramount Plus is still a good show, and if you haven't watched it yet, you should.
I keep forgetting about it.
What show?
Halo on Paramount Plus.
Halo. Okay.
It's really good. Although I do have something to say though. This was what? What were you gonna say, Tom?
Sorry, I was wondering. You said I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, was it Snake Eyes? You said you watched that on Amazon, and I wanted to ask you: was that included with Prime, or did you rent it?
It was included.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, Halo. Here's the funny part. So it was still good. I enjoyed it. Still a big recommend with the show, but it definitely took this weird kind of psychedelic, ambiguous, inexplicable events kind of happening all around kind of narrative for this episode too. So I mean, like, seriously, I wanted to rip my hair out with Moon Knight, Outer Range, and Halo. I watched them all in the same day, and they all were kind of on that same kind of arc, and I was just like, oh my god, I survived, but it was tough. and I definitely liked Halo the best out of the three. And so anyway, I watched Halo, and then I think that's about it, actually. Yeah, that's probably enough. So
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
It just keeps reminding me of all the stuff that I'm not, I've got to catch up on.
Yeah.
My parents sent me a message. Hey, like, what was it? Part 2 of season 4 of Ozark is on. And I'm like, I haven't even watched season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, man. Everybody just keeps talking that up so much. And man. How many seasons? This is the final season. It's season 4, I think, right? Is it?
I don't know.
But okay. Anyway, so that's what I watched. All right. So now it is Mike's time. Are you ready, Mike? I have an intro, so you just say yeah, and then if you're going to be ready in 10 seconds, that'll work.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. Nice.
Okay.
Mike, yeah.
It took me 10 seconds to get completely ready.
Awesome.
So, this is our pick 3. So,
contest officially ends now.
Officially over.
Yeah.
No more guesses.
I'm actually going to pull the comments up for myself right now, so I don't miss anybody. I'm waiting. People. Oh no, it would be too late now. I put up the comments and no one commented. So,
All right. I was really surprised with this week. We'll go down the artists and the books real quickly. Batman 123, Howard Porter. Marauders number 2. I'm going to stop picking this guy's covers because I can't pronounce his last name. KL New. Anyway. NGU. Once in Future 25, Dan Mora. Batman Killing Time 3B, KL once again. Star Wars Obi-Wan number 1, Eric M. Gist. Avengers Forever number 5, Lee Garbett. Little Monsters 3B, Andrea Sorrentino. Scorched 5B, Todd McFarlane. Spider-Man 2099, Exodus 1. That title is actually not all of it. Ryan Brown, and then Iron Man 19, Alex Ross. What really surprised me about this was how many people liked the Once in Future.
Me too. I was actually surprised by that as well.
So
I don't know everybody, of course, with the way we're doing it now, but yeah, I think everybody in my family except me chose it.
I was surprised that some of the covers actually got quite a few votes. I mean, I like them all, obviously, but
yeah, they're all good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we will start with number 3, and this week we had number 1 was a clear winner, and then I guess second place. There were 3 books all tied for second place. So once again, my non-scientific way to do the tiebreaker sorted things out for us easily. And number 3, right there. That is Batman Killing Time.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. If I had won this, I would probably ask for that one to be. I just dropped all my stuff. I would say that's the book I want you to buy for me. For winning.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep. And number 2, I was surprised this is number 2. Obi-Wan.
You were surprised it was number 2?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be number 1.
Oh.
I really did.
Well, that lightsaber hield ain't right.
Once Tyler threw out the lightsaber thing, I think it swayed a lot of people. And the biggest crime of them all is Tyler didn't pick
Poison the well.
three covers.
Oh, he didn't even pick.
He didn't even pick, but he took time to critique
the one cover and didn't even vote.
Right.
Yeah, he did participate in that conversation that I think was about 50 comments over 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
good job, Tyler.
Yeah, way to go, Ty. Number one.
I want to interrupt real quick, because that's what I do. Yeah, that's amazing to me. Sorry, I stole. I wanted to.
Patrick, there goes the thunder for number one.
Sorry, Patrick. You got to pick one Obi-Wan. Who is it? Alec Guinness or Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. See, Mike.
He has a larger body of work as Obi-Wan. I agree. I think he's a great Obi-Wan, but that's no reason to not pick.
Well, I did not pick it because that's Alec Guinness. That's why it didn't really sway me to pick him. Even though Obi-Wan's my favorite Jedi. Yeah.
So anyway, back to Dan Mora with Once and Future number 25.
Dan Mora, Once and Future number 25. Yeah. And this is a Virgin variant, right? Because you said you.
It's not. It's just they haven't released a copy of it. With the trade dress on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, the trade dress is pretty large for this book, so I'm not sure where they're going to put it. He really probably up in the left corner. But this is great, and he's done a great job. He's illustrated all 25 issues. It's his creator owned.
Did you vote for this one, Mike?
Yes.
Tom, did you vote for this? Did Tom vote?
Tom did vote. I don't think.
Yeah, this is the one I called it like the Arrow one or something. I had no idea what it is. It just looked cool.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I did not vote for this one. I did.
There you go. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Tom did.
And you know what's
I went 2 for 3 this week.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. Or no, I didn't. I only went 1 for 3. Yeah, I only picked the Batman. What's even crazier about this cover is I don't know how you guys are doing it, but I'll give my miscellaneous family members the phone and they'll scroll through it. They all came back with this one for they said, okay, yeah, I want that one, the Arrow guy. And then they told me the rest. So it was like their first pick for all of them too. It's like,
I was really surprised.
It was my number 1 pick too. Just
wow.
When you go through the first scroll through, it jumped right out. And the only downside or the negative of this was that it wasn't familiar characters. That could be a factor sometimes. I liked that cover a few weeks ago of some guy on a horse looking at a spaceship, but I had no idea who those people are. So it's like a little bit of a demerit when I don't even know what that is, right? But so these ones, I can't tell who it is, but I don't know. The guy's in shadow anyway. Is this a Green Arrow cover? I don't know. But but it's great art, and I like the layout, sort of storytelling elements with the reflection and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it has a lot of the elements that make a great cover. Just great art, not just a pin-up. Kind of tells a little bit of what the storyline's going to be. So yeah, it's great.
Yep. Yeah, that was Last Flight Out number 6. Was the guy on the horse.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
That was for that one, but it was an honorable mention. That was number 4. It was in consideration. Yeah. I did like the cover.
Right.
Well, I'm definitely going to buy this book when it comes out now, even though I wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had this on my pull list from the get-go. I mean, Kieran Gillen's a writer, and Dan Mora. I love Dan Mora's work when he worked with, I think it's Grant Morrison on the Claus books, the Santa Claus books. Well, Claus, but they don't call him Santa.
Yeah. Claus with a K, right?
Yes. Yeah. Or as I look at it, always Klaus. And it might be Klaus and then change to Claus later. I don't know. Which way would it be with the K? Klaus or Claus?
All right, so I'm assuming all the family members won this week, and the professionals like us failed miserably.
I did not. I didn't do. I didn't factor all the standings.
Oh, you didn't even do it. Who the top 3 were? No.
No.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's okay.
ran out of time. I did the short sale show this morning.
Yeah.
Something that I thought it's like we're gonna
Something's
knock
got
this
to
out.
give.
Yeah, we're gonna knock this show out in 40 minutes. With prep and all that stuff. And I think it was 2 hours. I was gone from the.
But we had a good weekend for sales as well. So
yeah, I was packing.
We had
up
a lot of
books,
packing
too.
to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I have another new exciting intro for the next segment.
Yes.
I definitely love all your feedback. And this one is short, but I'm telling you, this was one of the trickiest ones. I'm sure Patrick can really appreciate how tricky some of this stuff can be, even though it looks short and easy. But so let's move into it.
You got a deal. Are you for real?
It's pretty good, right?
I do like the way you've edited that. That's much better because it was the pause prior was.
Yeah.
Long.
Had to split it up.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. And so I got a lot of this is going to go smooth and easy. Reminder from last week, that was another You Got a Deal lot. And there was a little bit of a snafu this week with the lot that I bought Monday last week. It was supposed to be here by Saturday. Hadn't even shipped yet. I'm like, what's up to the dude? And he's like, he didn't respond to me. And then he shipped it. And then he sent me a message after he shipped it. Oh, we just shipped it. I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I knew that already. So what I had to do was, my plan was to just go out to dollar bins and get, 25 good books to go for $25. But something better happened. Found a flea market that had it was a short box of just random books that were actually 50 cents. They were dollar books, and this flea market was crazy. The first hour you actually had to pay to get in. The next hour was free to get in. The next hour they sold everything at 50% off, and then like 2 hours later, they just anything left you could just take it and leave. They didn't even. It was so crazy.
That's the craziest idea.
It was a great schedule. So I was there during the 50% off hour. 50% off hour. So these are all dollar books. So I got them for 50 cents, So this is going to be 25 books for what's half of, for $12.50 then. Right?
Right. That would be it.
All right. You guys about ready? And this is, I got a new camera set up. This is going to be beautiful and smooth. Everybody's going to love this, including you guys.
All right, so I need to get my pen.
Okay. I need to get this. Hey, Tom, are you familiar with this segment?
I'm not sure, but my audio has been cutting a little bit. What are we doing here? Looking at comics, the new stuff?
No. It's called You Got a Deal, Are You For Real?
Oh, yeah. Basically, I love the intro. Yeah,
thanks. I bought a... I bought a bunch of books that I'm going to sell for what I paid for them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you get to reveal what you are buying blindly, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Cool. All right, ready? Here's another thing I'm going to do this week different than we did last week too, so nothing mistakenly happens possibly. I'm going to say, Patrick, this first one's for you. Justice Society of America, #1, Part 1 of 8. This is from 1991. And these are pretty good. There's a couple books that have some problems that I'll let you know about them, but these aren't in too bad shape either. But that's a pretty cool cover too.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, this one's for you, Mike. Green Lantern, #19. It's from 91 as well. Special 50th issue. Alan Scott original, or the original Green Lantern Corps, or the original Green Lantern returns. Sorry. Well, then, Patch, this is for you. Justice Society of America, number 8. This is the final issue. I hear with final issues, there's low print runs. This is probably worth $17.50 on its own. Right, Mike?
Yeah, that's usually
Or
when
no,
the final.
$12.50.
Yeah. That's usually when the final issues are in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, when it only makes it to 8? No,
8,
not so much.
yeah.
Still a cool cover, though.
Yeah.
Oh, this was definitely worth $12.50. Power Girl number 1. Oh, that one was for you, Patrick, right?
Power Girl's mine.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. Damn it. See? I need a checklist.
What issue was that?
Number 1, 4-issue
104.
miniseries. Yeah. All right, so this one's Patrick. Godzilla, King of the Monsters from 1978. Check it.
Dang, I want that.
I know you do. It's just going to get better, too.
I need to go to this flea market.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, the rules are something that you would come up with, seriously.
Right. Yep. And then I got GI Combat, The Mercenaries, number 286.
Oh my gosh, that's right up my alley.
From 1986. This one's pretty. This is one of the ones that's pretty rough. Actually has like it's not a bend with color break. It's kind of like a semi-fold, and then a ton of ticks with color break in the spine. That's pretty cool, ain't it?
Yeah, I love that.
Whose was that one?
Mine.
Have any of them been Patrick's yet? I'm just kidding.
Every other one. The odd ones are.
All right. Then I got The Flash, number 254. This one's a little rough as well. Again, I got to learn my grades to get it. It's a cool cover, though. It's a great cover. The Convention of Flash Villains.
Oh, I like that one, too. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? And check this. This is a great cover. Green Lantern versus Green Lantern. Number 197 from 86. Remember that cover? Is that awesome?
Yeah, what is that one?
197.
That's right.
All right. Now this next one is awesome, but it has some smudge on the cover, some stuff, some I don't know what it is. The cover is also torn. Probably about 2 inches down the top middle. And then there's ticks in there. But this is Weird Science, number 15 from, I think this is 1972.
Yeah, sometimes they've reprinted those.
Yeah, I think this is a reprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still from 72, though.
Yeah, those are great, too.
Yeah.
A lot of time, Wally Wood artworks in some of those.
Whose was that?
Patrick.
All right, awesome. All right, here's another great one. Creatures on the Loose, number 14. Oh, guess I'm going to have to take some of these away.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep, I like that book too.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
No, not there. Don't take me there. And a bunch of apes. All right. This is Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, number 5 from Innovation.
I remember I used to have all of those.
It's a pretty great cover. I like it.
Yeah, I think they're redoing a lot of the Anne Rice books, or like a new Interview with the Vampire, I think.
Whose is that anyway?
Patrick.
Me.
Nice. All right, then I got Green Lantern number 193. This is from 85. Mike from New York's going to be calling.
He already has all these things.
I know. I'm just saying. Just like to name drop whenever I have the opportunity. All right, this is Green Lantern number 198, giant-sized spectacular. It's a special crisis crossover. It's pretty awesome, right?
Yep. I mean, okay, I'll just come clean now.
Okay.
I've never been a real big Green Lantern fan.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
Nothing against Green Lantern. It's just I've never been interested in reading it.
Yeah, I agree. How about you, Patrick? Green Lantern fan?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you guys, actually.
Yeah. I remember actually buying these new. Robin 2, number 4.
Is this one Patrick's? I got behind.
Should be you.
Okay, I got it. Robin 2.
Robin 2, The Joker's Wild. All right, then this is Gorilla Groundhog, The Adventures of Gorilla Groundhog, number 2, from Eclipse.
That is awesome.
That's a great cover.
So, yeah, it's that gorilla.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, monkey gorilla. It's
Right.
guerrilla warfare. Yeah, right. All right, and then here, this one's definitely going to be worth what the lot costs as well. Guy Gardner, number 1 from 92.
Once again, yeah, never.
Yeah. Still cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then this one is... This is so funny when this kind of thing happens. So this is Flash number 69 from 92. Guerrilla Warfare Part 2 of 4. But it's actually spelled Gorilla.
Right. That's funny. And once again, Green Lanterns. And
It's guest starting the Green Lantern. That's hilarious. It's Guerrilla Warfare because of Gorilla Grodd. Yeah.
that guy Gardner, geez.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I just looked. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that one had a good recent sale.
Oh, nice. And then this is apparently a crossover because this is also Guerrilla Warfare Part 3 of 4, but it's Green Lantern number 31. That's a great cover, though. I really like that. All right, still on track. Who's who?
Yeah, the next one should be Patrick's.
All right, Mike, I hope you're sitting down because you're going to want this.
Okay.
This is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Dark Horse Comics Special number 1. Check it.
That is sweet. Yep.
Isn't that awesome?
I do like that one.
Who's looking that one up?
Patrick.
Oh, I want to know that number specifically after.
Well, the guy Gardner was 8.
Nice. All right, here we got Suicide Squad number 49.
Yes, please.
And just a reminder, halfway through here again, or I think we're more than halfway through at this point, but you can have this lot for $12.50 plus shipping. comment now or claim it before Saturday at noon, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Or until after the show when Mike wants to claim it. You might only have during the show.
Yeah, I need that Suicide Squad. That's I mean, I'll throw it out there. Hopefully someone will, that's a $10 book.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And then I got Green Lantern number 13.
I think that's Patrick, right?
Yep.
Good. I'm so tired of looking up Green Lantern. That's how little fan of Green Lantern I am.
It's still cool covers, though. I like them a lot. Which that's, yeah, I'm not a Green Lantern fan at all, but I definitely think he's cool. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And
I like the whole idea.
Yeah.
So.
And then here's Green Lantern.
I like him I like him in Justice League, like as part of an ensemble. But when he's on his own, especially like when it has to do with space, I generally just, with fiction in general, I don't have too big of things, big fan things taking place out in space on other planets and stuff. So yeah, but he pairs well with the Flash aesthetically. I think like one of those covers had them together, right?
Yeah. All right, now we got Green Lantern Corps Quarterly, number 1. Whose is that one?
Mine.
Oh, sorry about it.
That's all right, because the previous one was a Green Lantern book, so it's.
All right, now we got Green Lantern Emerald Dawn, number 5.
That was a mini series, wasn't it?
I don't know. Oh yeah, 5 of 6. Yep. Oh, we got another Guerrilla Warfare. Oh, this is the Guerrilla Warfare conclusion. Flash number 70.
So that, I mean, I wonder if how many parts that was. We might have between the Green Lantern books and the Flash books. We might have the whole little series there.
That's true. That's true. Who knows?
What year was that one again?
92.
92.
Yeah. And then we got another Suicide Squad here. Number 60. Another great cover. Need that one, Mike?
Yeah. Not as much as the other one. I mean, I like this one because Batman's in it. But.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Simpsons Comics, number 142. It's Crabtacular. That's a pretty decent shape, too.
Yeah. Now, the books like that, when you get later in the run, the Flash in the Pan fans or whatever, people get the first 3 issues, the first 10 issues, and then they kind of bail on it. When you get up to 142, a lot of those people have already jumped ship. But this book doesn't. All
right. So that'll do it. So again, reminder to people watching now or listening to the podcast after, you can have this lot for $12.50 plus shipping. And if you want to kind of cherry pick it to make the shipping cheaper by making it way less, you can reduce it by only the books you want, especially for the cost of this, especially what Mike said. It sounds like this is definitely going to be you got a deal.
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to cherry pick it first, I can, and then the shipping will be even cheaper.
All right, Patrick, what do you got?
$76.
Nice. Mike?
61.
So that's 137 bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
That was it's something like that. I'm terrible with math.
Yeah, 137. Yeah, yeah.
And I just did a bunch of math, but green paper. Look, this is like Willy Wonka. It's like Willy Wonka, right? Anyway, there were some great books in there.
Yeah, that is a super you got a deal. And that's what I'm planning on doing whenever, if I have problems like I've had, we aren't going to leave people hanging on the you got a deal, are you for real? Mm-hmm. And I think I'm the perfect candidate to do this kind of thing because I'm like not as knowledgeable, especially about older books as you guys are. Like, if you went and got the books, you wouldn't get any of the sucky ones. It would just be awesome. So it's a perfect dice roll if Kevin goes and buys 25 books.
The scary thing is, what books didn't you grab out of that box?
Right, exactly. Well, that's what I told Jesse. We stopped and ate lunch at a pizzeria, and then I was like, "Oh man, it's the free hour," and I was just gonna go grab the rest of it, of course. Mm-hmm. But we didn't make it in time before they closed.
How many were left when you were done?
More than I got. Yeah, there was probably. I would say there maybe was 75 in there total.
All right, so what are you doing next Saturday?
I think it was a Facebook event, so I don't know how often they do it or whatever. It's not a regular thing. It's not a regular place.
Missed opportunity. Yeah. But that was a great, good picks.
Awesome. All right. So I think we're about to get into, man, my cards are all a show again. Man, I don't know how I keep doing that. But I think it's time for Patrick. Patrick, you about ready?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Here we go. Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, let's hear about what I'm going to be broke on here soon.
See what's on the horizon. Well, because of Michael last week, he reminded me that there's an audience out there that's all about the manga and the anime. So I did a little shopping on the Japanese websites, and this is the SH Figure Arts Lightyear figure.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with SH Figure Arts, they're a higher end Bandai line from Japan. Although they're so popular, there's been a lot of importing of the figures done in the US, and they do Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Disney, all kinds of licenses. And this is of course for the new Pixar movie, and they're known for superposability, lots of accessories, lots of different heads, different hands, things like that. So you name it,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
different head, like you said. Yeah.
Yep. Different head. You can take his dome off and on. And
he's looking a little trim there. He's looking thin.
Well, have you seen the Lightyear trailer?
Well, I did briefly, but I don't recall. Is this what he looked like in there?
Yeah, this is supposedly, the story of what the Buzz Lightyear toy was based on. So you're getting like the real life Buzz Lightyear in this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that how they? This is kind of a little off topic, but Tim Allen's not the new Buzz Lightyear too, right? Is that
it's Chris Evans is the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the movie.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Tim Allen is the toy,
right,
in Toy Story, which is based off of the real life Buzz Lightyear.
Quote unquote real life.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Is that how they justified the change?
Which is Chris Evans. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Ayla for making a good joke yesterday. We saw a Buzz Lightyear action figure at the flea market, and she goes, "Oh, look, it's Captain America, the variant edition." It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So he's 6,980 yen, which translates.
Oh my God.
You always move the decimal point when you're talking Japanese yen to the US dollar. So it ends up being like, and it, plus the dollar or the yen is weak right now. So it translates to about $54, which is still high considering an action figure. But their baseline figures are usually in the $30 range. But I guess like, US toys, inflation's kind of hitting them too. So a little bit of a, but I have quite a few Figure Arts figures, and they're very nice. Whether they're $50 nice to you, it's up for you to decide. But
yeah,
they're definitely well-made figures, lots of posability, lots of accessories, things like that.
Cool.
So, the other, and I should say now more than ever, these items are easy to acquire. Whether you hit them up on a Japanese site like AmiAmi or Hobby Link Japan, they're all very US friendly, and you can order directly from them. Or, like I said, because they've become so popular, Previews picks up a lot of this stuff. So you might just be able to get it from your local comic shop. And this is the Bishojo Kate Bishop. They've been doing this line. It translates to like pretty girl is what Bishojo means. And they've been doing this line for years. I actually have a couple. I think I have a Black Widow. I definitely have the Red She-Hulk. But this is the latest, with Kate Bishop as Hawkeye and Lucky the Pizza Dog. And she is 14,700 yen, or about 112 US. So again, they're like sort of that in between. They're PVC statues, so technically they should be cheaper than a polystone or resin statue, but even the price of these is shooting up there. So around that $100 mark. I think back when I was picking them up, they were in that 60 to 70 maybe dollar range for something like this. So, just a couple things from Japan, and then bring it back to the US. They're re-releasing the Marvel Legends Black Panther figures. They're calling it the Legacy Collection. So if you missed them the first time, they're basically the same figures.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. It kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit why they just didn't wait for the next Black Panther movie to release them then. I don't know what the demand is out there currently for Black Panther figures, but I guess they decided to, maybe it was a little gap in their schedule and they were trying to fill in with some sales.
Gotcha.
Re-releasing the Black Panther. I'm not quite sure.
Are these repaints at all?
Slight repaints, I believe. Somebody, I even saw a comment where they thought the Shuri figure was technically, you think they should be able to do some improvements, but they thought the face on the Shuri figure was a little worse than the first go around. So, again, though, you always have to wait for the final product. And these, I believe, well, I can't answer that 100%, but I think these still come in the window box packaging, so you can check for yourself. Otherwise, you're stuck with a cardboard packaging where you can't really check the figure out. And then I haven't talked about. Sorry, my voice is really struggling today.
That's okay.
The Hasbro, along with the Star Wars Black and the Marvel Legends, they also do G.I. Joe, and I hadn't spotlighted them. But Kevin, you were talking about Snake Eyes, and I just so happened to have some G.I. Joe Classified, which is the name of their 6-inch figure line.
Crazy coincidences all day long. Nice. Yeah.
And these guys, I guess they really spotlighted these 3 figures like Dusty, the Crimson Gardens, the Tana, I think is her name. I was sort of a G.I. Joe fan back in the 80s, but I didn't get too deep into it.
Okay.
But I definitely remember these 3 figures. And this is, those same 3 figures and a couple more up at the top there.
Yeah, watching that G.I. Joe movie definitely, sparked something in me to seek out maybe the G.I. Joe comic books. And then I was also thinking, there might be a few figures that I might like as well, because obviously since they're, releasing new ones now too,
Well,
Yeah.
if you're looking for some of the books, Exceller has a bunch. I'll sell to
Yeah,
you.
there you go.
Do we have a bunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that, actually. I might do that. I get a discount there, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It seems like no matter, like I said, I was a short window of a G.I. Joe fan, but I'm always tempted when I see like a Snake Eyes figure or a Zartan figure, or a Storm Shadow. I've over the years I've picked them up, just because the characters, are so cool looking, that even though I'm not all in on the G.I. Joe lines, I'll pick, here and there a figure I really like.
Yeah. He-Man's that way for me right now too. They got some cool He-Man stuff out that I've been resisting getting.
Yeah. And then just to finish it off on a crazy note, I noticed this email from Hot Topic of all places, where Marvel's crossing over with Iron Maiden for
Oh my gosh.
I mean, sort of, not really a collectible, although people do collect T-shirts, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I just thought this was such an oddball pairing that I thought I would highlight it.
That does seem strange. I actually talked to my wife recently about Iron Maiden, and it seemed like, and this could just be me because I've never been a big Iron Maiden guy, but I do have a little bit of history with their music. And of course, a big thing with them has been the art on the albums. And
Yeah.
what's his name? Eddie, right?
Eddie, yeah.
Yeah. And he seems to be like almost mainstream now. It's like, and was part of the appeal back in the day, I thought, with Iron Maiden, is that like they were the bad guys that no one liked, It's but their music was hard, and if you're into that, obviously it was good, so yeah. But it seems like they're and then I guess that's confirmation right there. They are officially mainstream.
I guess so, yeah. I can't even think of what the tie was here. What possibly, besides the Eddie, is sort of like a cartoonish character,
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Why would they ever join forces? I just don't know who would approach who and say, "Hey, we got to do this together." So
you know what? This might be a little forecasting, because what we got, obviously AC/DC a lot, and now we got Guns N' Roses. Watch, there's going to be some Iron Maiden music and some new Marvel movies coming or something.
Maybe,
yeah. So that was part of the deal or something.
Maybe. Yeah, but that was it for the Horizon this week.
That was great. Yeah, that was good stuff. All right, going straight from what we should get to talk about what we did get, and this, of course, brings up my final exciting new animation. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Dude, it's funny on so many levels.
I tried. And let me just say, I had to design that building from scratch.
Well done.
Well, it had a picture of a building, and then I had to do all the other stuff to it, but
the amount of books that we all come out of the store with is perfect.
Yeah, Patrick's got them all already, so he comes out with like one.
Yeah, Patrick and Johnny come out with I have a moderate amount, and you've got one. It's like, hey. It's funny.
All right, so who wants to start this week? Mike, you want to start this week?
Yeah, I've now. I actually picked this up a few weeks ago.
Okay.
But I figured I'd just highlight it here.
That's a great book
because with Neal Adams passing, I absolutely love this cover.
Yeah.
So it's a Strange Adventures 218, and yeah, this one is just so fantastic. I just stare at this for hours. It's so not literal hours, but maybe back when I was younger. Yeah, so I got this a few weeks ago, but I wanted to kind of highlight it. And,
that's cool. I'm glad it's one of the ones I didn't pick to not steal your thunder. That's a really cool cover.
Yeah, I was thankful. I mean, you were going through, and I was like, oh, don't do the one that I'm going to do.
I was going to say that I wish that I would have had some of his horror covers on there for you, Mike. I didn't pick any of those ones out either because he has some really cool horror covers.
Yep. So that's what I picked up.
Nice. All right, I'll go next if that's okay with you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Again, this flea market, I'm on this place was great. I got, man, this is why you got to label your pictures. But I got this Game of Thrones, a card game. Talking about games, I've always wanted this. It's been in my cart on eBay for a year probably, and I got this for $250. It was $5, so it was a 50% hour. So I got it for $250, and it's like brand new. Game of Thrones, a card game, and then I never even knew about this, but I got it same price, $5. So I got it for $250. Justice League, the board game Road Trip, and these like the tokens and the character pieces and everything inside. These are the old school, that just had the flat cardboard picture of the superheroes you put in the base, not miniatures or anything like that, but it's great and it's unpunched. It's like brand new. It's awesome. I got that for $250. And then was yesterday McFarlane Day?
I didn't know there was such a thing. Yesterday was Free Comic Book Day.
McFarlane Day in I'm sorry, GameStop. GameStop's McFarlane Day.
I hadn't heard.
Oh, really? Okay. I know it either was last week or it was yesterday or it's coming. Well, I guess it had to have been last week because I got these. And the way it worked is these are GameStop exclusive variants for the Scorch #1, Gunslinger Spawn #1, and King Spawn #1. And basically, to be able to get these, you had to buy a toy. So, of course, I bought Gunslinger. And I also pre-ordered the Gunslinger Spawn on the horse, the big deal, that I think it just got put on pre-order. Todd made a video about it last week or whatever, so I pre-ordered that as well. So those are pretty cool. I was really excited about that.
I like that Gunslinger cover.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Is that Scorched one looks just like the regular one. So I don't know exactly. I haven't really scrutinized what the difference between that one and the regular variant. I mean, I think that cover of Scorched is a variant, but the GameStop exclusive variant doesn't seem different than the actual, so I don't know, but I was excited to get those. So that was cool. And then that's besides for that, the other stuff I got a bunch of stuff there, but it's not really geek collectible stuff. So what'd you get, Patrick?
I showed this on the Exceller group, this Spider-Man Fantastic Four by Christos Gage and Mario Alberti. He's an Italian artist. It's a really cool artwork that I stumbled upon from a Facebook post. I wasn't familiar with the artist, but it looks really cool.
Yeah,
he did another Spider-Man and the X-Men, same creative team. So I'm looking for that. And I went back to the Amazon Italy well, one more time.
Glutton for punishment, are you?
for the third Paprika book from Italy, because they have the hot paprika version and they come with those dang little slip sleeves on the outside that were damaged previously when I ordered number 1 and number 2. But I'm happy to report no problems.
Nice.
On Italy came through. No damage at all. Same exact style of shipping box. Crappy shipping box. But luckily this time the packer at Amazon didn't just shove them in there with a 2x4 or something. I don't know. And I mean, that's really all it comes down to is they just have to make sure they put them in there.
Care. Yep.
And jam them in there. And they made it all the way from Italy. And it only took probably about a week. So basically what I'm doing there, let my secrets out, is I order 3 so I can flip 2 of them. You know,
okay.
You know, I'm taking the risk of bringing them over here. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now, you know, the good experience this time is just going to give you the confidence to do it again.
And then cycle all over again.
Yeah, I rolled the dice, meaning that I needed to get that third volume, and now I'll be a little more picky probably when I order in the future. That was it. I think that was it for this week. I didn't nothing much.
Gotcha. Well, since I mentioned a game, I just wanted to, you know, I know no one really got to see the midweek crawl through yet, but I can talk about that for a minute because I actually mentioned this a few times in other crawl throughs, but we actually played Cobble and Fog, the unmatched system, which is, it's basically minis. This one has the Invisible Man, Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and who's the last one? It says right there at the bottom.
Oh,
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's actually my box, and this is what the board looks like. This is a little close up of the figure. This is a fun game. Have you ever played these, Patrick?
No, I never heard of this.
Oh, it's so good. And actually, I think about you all the time because whenever I play this game, because there's about 8 expansions of this out currently, and they've got about another 6 coming this year. And they're all like these random classics, you know, like one is like Bigfoot versus Robin Hood, and another one is Bruce Lee and Deadpool. And it's got all this randomness to it. Like one's King Arthur and Alice in Wonderland. It's like all these classic characters that they've made these, and the minis are really cool too. You know, you can see in that one picture, they're really detailed. They aren't painted, but the bases are different colors, and they're all compatible. So I could fight Bruce Lee against King Arthur if I wanted to, you know. And it's a pretty simple game. It's got a little board, and you get a little deck. Each character gets a deck of cards and has special abilities, and it's a lot of fun. And we played that and talked about it in last week's crawl through. And spoiler alert, Ayla ended up winning with Sherlock Holmes. So
yeah, that game looks cool.
It is very cool. I think you both. Why I mentioned why I think about you all the time, Patrick, is because there's so many expansions. The only one I don't have that's currently out is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer expansion. And I'm like, if Patrick came over, he'd be mad.
Yeah,
they couldn't be Buffy and I don't know the Buffy characters, but I'm sure you do. The 4 main Buffy characters are the playable characters in the game. So I want it. It's just last on my list because I know nothing about Buffy. You know?
Yeah.
So would it be? I watched the movie. So is it Buffy, Willow, and what's his name?
Xander.
No.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, but that's not what I was thinking. Anyway, yeah. I don't know anything about Buffy either.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it sounds like you might know as much about Buffy as I do. So.
Yeah.
Was it Seth Green?
Yeah, who's Seth Green and Buffy?
Oz.
Oz?
He's like a werewolf.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it might be
Was it
him.
him?
Yeah, that's all I know.
Okay.
And the expansions are cool. They're coming out. The expansions they're coming out. The next that I want are Daredevil and Elektra, and Luke Cage and Ghost Rider. So they're awesome. I mean, of course I want them all. So
Yeah.
that's nothing new. All right, so then I guess this will be our final segment coming up here, since we already had a unique topic. So let's get into it. Nice. Hey, Tom, were you able to view that one, or are you driving?
Both.
No, don't admit to viewing and driving. Say one or the other. Tom,
I'm
did you
parked
see that
now,
one?
so it's okay. Yeah, sorry, I was having trouble getting my mute button to undo. I saw it, but the video wasn't smooth enough to really see what was going on. I saw people sitting at a table, and was Johnny lifting weights or something?
Yeah, exactly. Johnny's
That's all I
working
caught.
out. All right, so
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look those over later. They look like they're fun.
yeah, you definitely should. Absolutely. So you wanna go first on this one today, Patrick?
Yeah, I can do that. So I think, Mike, you had talked about this book a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just were going over your haul video. I can't remember what your situation was with this.
Both. I talked about that issue number 1 a few weeks ago, and then I got number 2 yesterday.
Yeah, so I read 1 and 2 last night. And this is by Cy Spurrier and Mateus Bergara. And as Mike had previously mentioned, there's no dialogue in these books.
What? Really?
I think that was your reaction last time too, Kevin.
Yeah. And that first issue, it's like 40 pages, right?
I think they're both oversized. I think they must all be oversized books. Yeah, there's a lot. Basically, you're just thrown into this world. There's this young girl, and she's protected by this. You don't know what he is. He's like a giant golem or a giant knight or a mech. That's sort of a mystery. Although their mystery is partly revealed, I think, towards the end of issue 1. You get to see who's under the helmet, and I won't give anything away there. But it's basically, this. You don't know what's going on. They're just sort of this golem is just sort of prodding through this fantasy land, lots of different environments, and they're running into creatures, monsters throughout their travel, and he's just protecting this little girl the whole time. You don't know why. You don't know where they're going. It seems like, from what I could gather, and this is maybe a problem with the no dialogue thing, you're kind of left guessing at some things, and it almost seems like they have to keep moving forward. They can't turn around and go back at any point. I'm not sure what's doing that, if I'm reading that correctly, if I'm interpreting that correctly, but it seems like they're just being pushed forward constantly, and encountering these creatures that this golem is protecting this little girl from. And you start to realize that there may be more to the title, Step by Bloody Step. There might be some meaning to that, and I don't want to give away that either. That's another bit of a spoiler there. Keyword being bloody. There's something to that, which may also be tied to this golem creature. You start maybe putting things together in your mind, possibilities that there might be something to this. It's a massive world. In issue 2, you finally start to see, the antagonists are the creatures of this planet, but by issue 2, you start to discover there's somebody after this little girl, possibly, or after both, some more human type adversaries for them to contend with. And we talk about no dialogue, but they start speaking in like glyphs and symbols. I don't know if it's translatable, if it's meant to be translatable, but there is dialogue between the humans, but you can't, you're kind of left out to dry. You don't know how to interpret it, if it can be interpreted, like I said. But it's a very nice looking book. I mean, this artist, Mateus Vergara, he's just basically, I think, draw anything, and he does. There's so many different environments for him to do, so many different creatures for him to do, and the design of the golem, the night creature, the night character, is very cool. And I should also say that the little girl, I don't know if the series is supposed to be extending throughout a number of years, or this little girl is growing rapidly. Maybe I'll probably take another go around, quote unquote, read, and see if I can maybe figure that out a little bit better, because I'm just not sure if she's like I said, growing exponentially fast, or you're
going through time that quick.
Yeah, you're going through time and looking at a number of her different years.
I read it. Yeah, I assumed that it just went through time. It covered a long period of time.
Okay.
But I've only read number 1, so I don't know.
Can I still get one easily?
Yeah, I have 3 copies of it.
Why don't you hook me up?
Oh, I got one for myself, and I got a couple for Exceller. So yeah.
Okay.
So,
no.
what did you?
I'm just intrigued by how this would work with no words at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, comics are a visual medium. I mean, that's.
I know, but with none at all, it just seems so crazy.
It's a lot of work on your part.
Yeah.
To figure the story out.
So, Mike, did you get that impression also that they were not allowed to turn back, that they were being pushed forward by something?
Yeah. Yeah, they can't stop, and it's forward only.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But it's a get it for me.
Okay.
It's a 4-issue series. We'll see how it all plays out. I like the first issue better before they started introducing the human protagonists in the second issue that were after them, but because you're even more confused. You don't know what their motivation, why they're after them. I guess that's part of the mystery, but we'll see where it goes in the final 2 issues of the series. But so far, so good. I was not familiar with either of these. I've heard of Cy Spurrier before, but I don't think I've ever read anything by him, and I was not familiar with the artist. But good book, and it's on. It's a get it for me.
Awesome. All right, Mike, you want to go next?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was hoping that Patrick would not do She-Hulk. So we're going to start with She-Hulk number 3.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's get the bad stuff out of the way first.
Oh, no.
All right. Rainbow Rowell, the writer. Rogue Antonio is the artist. So basically, what we have here is Jack of Hearts he's crashed at Jen's apartment. He's eating pizza, and then he's wearing one of her shirts. After 3 issues, I realized, this isn't a book for me. It's got a place. It's got an audience, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not it. There was no action whatsoever.
Oh,
Basically, it's Jen at her office getting yelled at, and then her at her apartment sitting around on her couch talking to Jack of Hearts. And
are you sure there's an audience for this?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
The artwork, it fits the style of the story. And the Jen Bartel covers are amazing. And so that's pretty much all. I don't want to talk too badly about it because I do think it is for some people
like
just
it.
not me.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So keep an eye out on eBay because issues 1 through 3 will be coming.
All right.
The second book I read real quickly is Lead City #1, and this
Man,
was.
I was gonna misread that. You ruined it for me.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, what is that? Lead City. What is that?
Oh, Lead City. It makes so much more sense now.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this was a be on the lookout for January 6th. I threw this up there for.
I remember that. I remember it.
Yep. Because it's got everything going for it. You know, everything we like.
Snow,
Cowboys, gunfights. Yep. So it's set in 1873. This character on the cover there, Coleman, him and his family are crossing. They're moving out somewhere else. You know, they're kind of moving, and they break down as much as wagons can, and they come across two cities. They're side by side. His wife's sick, so he goes down to town, to the one town, and it's completely empty, but you can tell there's been gunfights all over the place. He runs into one guy there, says go head over to the other town. There's a doctor. So he goes there, and that's where we find out the whole ordeal here. The tagline for this is before Deadwood, before Tombstone, before Durango, there was Lead City.
Oh,
Basically,
wow.
Lead City is an empty city, and they take 8 volunteers that go to the city the next day, and it's last man standing. So it's kind of like Battle Royale, the Japanese movie. What's the other one that all the kids like these days?
Squid Games.
Yeah, Squid Games. Yeah.
Squid Games, and then there's that other one.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a last man standing type of thing, and the winner gets $10,000 or something. It's some large amount of money. So our boy Coleman here is the last one to chime in and say that he's going to take part. And
like Quick and the Dead, then. Remember that movie?
It's been a long time since I've seen that. But this is basically the only, from what I can tell, the only people that go into the town are the gunfighters that are going to fight it out. So
that's pretty much how Quick and the Dead is too. So yeah, that sounds cool.
Right.
And
So
sorry, I was going to say Quick and the Dead had a bunch of kind of unique characters in it as well. It wasn't just kind of all normal cowboys. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched that movie. So She-Hulk, for me, it's a forget it, and Lead City is a get it.
Are you sure She-Hulk doesn't? It sounds like it's more of a hard pass.
It's a hard pass for me. It's a get it.
Yeah, you're only talking about you. Yeah.
It's okay for me. It's a hard pass.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm kind of talking for other people. It's a review kind of. So I do think there's an audience for it.
Okay. But, all right.
So what'd you get? What'd you read?
I read Scorched #4. This is by the story by Sean Lewis, with art by Steven Segovia, and it's I think I reviewed #1 actually, and this is a team up of all the different spawns. Did I review #1? You guys remember that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. It's got Medieval Spawn, She Spawn, the Redeemer, Gunslinger Spawn, and just Spawn that are kind of teaming up to go on this mission. And basically the part of the mission we're in is whoever their adversaries are have developed a very similar creature to a Sentinel from the X-Men. They're called the Sin Devourers, but basically they've been kind of set off by Spawn DNA. So they have this urge to just find Spawn, all the different types of Spawn, and go and destroy them all. So that's kind of where the story currently is. And it's good. You know, the only thing I was thinking while I was reading this issue was, unless you have a backstory, it doesn't really give you too much backstory, you know? So, you know how obviously, you know, books will give you a little snippet, whether it be a first page paragraph or a little, you know, parts of a frame that'll explain something briefly. I did notice there's none of that in here, but I enjoyed it because I'm fairly familiar with the backstory. It's and so it's still good for me. Art's good. It's Spawn. You know,
I like how there are so many different. There's She Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn. That Al Simmons Spawn is just Spawn.
Well, that's something else we kind of learned in this one too.
Oh,
Seems like there was kind of a teaser that, in fact, Gunslinger Spawn and Spawn are actually the same guy. You know,
oh, that's awesome.
We'll see. But it's good. But I got the, you know, and I actually got this cover that I wasn't feeling too much, and I'm getting all those connecting covers for the X-Men homage, you know, covers.
Yeah, I messed up.
What?
On getting those, which one comes out this week? I missed ordering it.
Well, they actually skipped one. There was one that didn't have an homage cover. Did you see that? It's like 7, I think, is the last homage cover. And so it's like 3, 4, 5, and 7, something like that. It's like odd. You'd be the man to correct me on that, but that's what I thought I noticed. You know, so
yeah, I'll look into it.
But if you're a Spawn fan, this is definitely a get it. If you're a Spawn fan, this is a must-have. But for me, in general, so it's a must-have. But if you're not a big Spawn fan, it's probably you know, forget it. It's not a hard pass because I think if you got it, you'd enjoy it. But it's a forget it if you're not a Spawn fan in general. So
I don't know, with that plot twist you threw out there.
Maybe. So, you know, I noticed I didn't cheat though. And Patrick barely cheated because he read the same storyline. You totally cheated. You went with 2 separate books. What was up with that? You wanted to have a good and a bad. Is that where this is going? Is this going to be called the good, the bad, and the ugly segment? Yeah. We're gonna have 3 books.
Well, actually, I have Lead City #2 sitting down there, but I didn't have a chance to read it. I read She-Hulk the other day, and I wanted to do 2 books. So I thought, well, let me just go ahead and do the She-Hulk. And
I was expecting a Patch review this week. I almost read that instead as well.
I still didn't read it. I read the first page, and that's all further I got.
You read Patch, Pat?
No, didn't get it. Didn't pick it up.
What? You didn't even get it?
I was never interested in that period of Wolverine.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, looks like I'll be reading Patch. I'll let y'all know.
Okay.
Unless
looks
you
like I will too. I'm sure that's got to inevitably happen someday where we read and one review the same book in the same week. So that'd be cool. You know. My original suggestion for Get It or Forget It was to have like a book club anyway. We all pick a book and read it to then talk about the same book, you know. But I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I picked She-Hulk 4. I'll read She-Hulk 4.
That's too bad because two sort of set up a kind of a mystery, you know, and I figured it would be rolling along from there. So I don't think I have 3 yet, so I'll have that to look forward to, I guess.
I think 3 fell into a lot of what I think the young adult authors bring to the comic book medium. It falls into all of those. A lot of sitting around talking, drinking coffee, eating pizza and donuts. You know, no action.
Yeah.
So.
Which, like you said, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, we don't have to buy them.
Right.
Yeah. And if they aren't making money on them, it's their choice to lose the money, but whatever, you know. So, all right. Anybody got any recap comments?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about the recap.
As we always do.
I'll go first. Flea markets are awesome.
Yeah. I'll piggyback on that. don't leave an awesome flea market for lunch.
Yeah, right.
Eat lunch after the flea market.
All right, you got one, Pat?
I guess we'll go back to Neal Adams. Will not be forgotten. He's left a mark on the comic book industry. He was a giant, and his work will live on. He's awesome.
Well said.
Yep, that was good.
Now I feel bad with leading with the flea market tag.
We should just leave it at that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I was gonna say, just finish with that. That's it.
we'll cover that again for the last second. But I just want to check out Halo. It's a great show.
Okay.
You guys are missing it. You know, I don't hear any hype for Halo either. It's totally shocking to me. I guess I'm just not around the people that I need to be. I'm sure there's got to be some people. There's got to be a community for it out there loving it, but I haven't seen it. You know, so it's a great show though. Watch it.
Well, I think Tyler might be part of that community, but he's not here today.
Yeah, I talked to him about it, but every time I ask him, he hasn't watched it yet. So he watched like 2 or 3 episodes. But yeah, I mean, he just moved and stuff, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
he's also too busy going to Penguins games.
Yeah, and his hockey is big time right now. How about that? The Penguins got the Rangers in the first round. Yeah.
Yep.
When's game 1? Tuesday?
Yes.
I don't know. Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, he plays hockey too, so yeah, it takes a lot of his time.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's got a girlfriend, so you know that takes time. Right? Anyway. All right. So just a few reminders. Please listen to this live stream in podcast form. That'll be out no later than Tuesday. Be the edited version of the show. To not only enjoy the edited version of the show, which is good in my opinion, it's definitely a different experience, but also to find out what the second word of the Fun Fan Freebie phrase is. And then we will have an original podcast out no later than Friday. That's the midweek crawl through. We cover mostly games to find the third word and just to listen to that because it's awesome too. But if you want to find out what the third word is, be in that podcast. Then there will be a short sale show. Hopefully we can get in some kind of rhythm where that would be every week, Saturday or Sunday. I'm a little bit more flexible sometimes, so Mike's kind of still going to dictate that, and I'll hopefully, tag along on that regularly. But some good deals to be had on there as well. Oh, and then that's speaking of good deals. I actually set up a new email for the You Got a Deal lot. So if you want the You Got a Deal lot, email me at YouGotADealLotIsMine@gmail.com.
Nice.
Okay.
Consider it done.
And the reason I say that is because obviously there's only one, and I say whoever does it first gets it. But if I got to look if someone's going to comment on Facebook or comment on YouTube or send me an email or whatever the case may be, all these different ways, how am I exactly going to figure out who did what first? I mean, I can see timestamps, but sometimes those could be close, blah, blah, blah. So basically the only way for you to get until we get it set up to buy it through our website is YouGotADealLotIsMine@gmail.com. First person to send me an email there saying they want it gets it. Today's $12.50 plus shipping. And we don't ship internationally. Again, we're dealing with somebody from Germany right now. No matter how many times we say we don't ship internationally, that happens. But
yep.
And then on that note, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Twitter, or all these different. Check us out on Exceller_comics on eBay, and check out our website excellercomics.com. A lot of work into all this. It's good stuff too, so
yep.
Check it all out. And then please take the poll. And speaking of trivia question too, I changed it. Did anybody see the trivia question last week?
I did. What was it? Remind me, because I went looking for it.
I did it on snow days. What was it? Patrick's comic he did last week. I did a trivia question about. Which that's what I'm doing too now. I'm the trivia question is going to be something you can get the answer from just watching the show.
Yeah, Snow Angels is the book he read.
Yeah, Snow Angels. Yeah. So there's a question about Snow Angels. So. All right, so I think that'll about do it. Anybody else got anything else?
Nope.
And just to chime in again to finish it this way with what Patrick said, rest in peace, Neal Adams. He's awesome. You want to say something too now, Mike, that me and Patrick have? You don't want to be left out about Neal Adams?
Yeah, I think the industry's going to miss a presence like him. So as will fans. I mean, he was still putting stuff out.
Yeah. All right, and I actually said I had the last animation, but on our closing here, note there's new animation. All right, but that'll do it. Okay. So don't forget that reading a great story is a lot of fun, and reading a great story is awesome, and appreciating great art is a lot of fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Exceller out.
Bye, Johnny.